So we're talking about those times when your head just isn't in it. So you've started your workout, but you're not feeling it and you want to stop. Or maybe bigger picture, you find yourself talking yourself out of training during the week more often than not and skipping lots of sessions. Putting aside any other reasons for you just not feeling training, illness, hunger, thirst, lack of sleep, all of these things are really good reasons to reassess whether you should be training today or training hard. This feeling of not wanting to train or not wanting to continue to train or train hard is actually a really great thing. Stick with me. It's an opportunity for communication and realness with yourself. What actually is that resistance you're coming up against? Did you expect to feel totally energized and just smash it? But you're not, and you're not. So you follow that low mental and physical energy feeling, and then you take it to its natural conclusion of just stopping altogether. But do you actually need to do that? And can you continue anyway? What do you feel if you don't continue? What will you feel like if you stop? Will you feel better or will you feel worse? Or will you feel worse if you continue? Or will you regret not pushing harder? And then ask yourself why for all of those questions. It could be, will you be pleased with yourself just for getting to the end and not giving up? Even if you go slower than normal, take more rest than normal, if you just get to the end of that hour you set yourself for movement. Questions you need to think about beyond the morality of exercise. That's what they are. Take out the morality. Exercise doesn't make you a better person. It's not a sign that you're a good person. Not exercising, by the same token, isn't an act of rebellion. You need to really make sure you know your reason for being here in the first place and wanting to do it. And make that reason something useful and something personal, not vague things about how you look and morality and health. We'll talk about this in a later video because I think you're finding your why is quite a crucial thing, and a lot of people get it mismatched. Let's talk about frustration as well. So frustration only comes with a lack of realistic goal. If your goal is to always enjoy training and always feel full of energy and always go hard and heavy, you will be disappointed. And you know this already. You know this. You know you can't go hard and heavy and enjoy it and love it all the time. The key, therefore, is to calibrate your goal based on what you know about yourself that day. And here's the important thing to remember. Your realistic goal, 100% of the time, your only goal is to show up. And that's your baseline. Make that your baseline. You show up for your time, your hour today that's devoted to movement, exercise, training, whatever you want to call it. They're all three slightly different things. And then from there, you can always win. Did you show up? Did you get to the end of something? Yes, great. You've done 100% of what you set out to do. There's no need to feel weird or frustrated or like you're not doing enough because you didn't meet your own too high expectations. You didn't feel like you did enough to warrant continuing. Those times you're full of beans and you smash your sessions, because those times do happen. Great, bonus. That wasn't the goal, but that's a bonus. Now, consider this. Is the voice in your head that's giving you this sensation of resistance, this low mental energy, this frustration, this wanting to give up, this lack of motivation, is that voice actually there to protect you from something? The answer is yes. Your brain is always trying to keep you alive. That's why it does all the decisions it does. It's always trying to protect you. In this case, though, what is it trying to protect you from? The answer is discomfort. There's a reason why your brain just doesn't want discomfort today. There'll be some other discomfort in your life, or a lack of recovery from another discomfort in your life, and your brain doesn't care to do both today. So now that we know that, where can we go from here? Well, first we can accept that exercise and training is always going to come with some discomfort. We know this. It's hard for a reason, because pressure is what we put ourselves under, and that's what causes adaptation. And sometimes we love that and chase that discomfort, don't we? And that's quite an interesting thing. It means that our tolerance for discomfort is changeable. And that the discomfort is the same though. The training can be exactly the same. It's just that sometimes we cope with it. Fine, we love it. We thrive on it. We chase it. Sometimes we just can't handle it and we just can't cope today. we cope with it better depending on everything that's going on around it. So we can decide where to go. We can take a look outside of training, outside of what it is where the resistance is manifesting against. We can look outside it to find out where that resistance is coming from, whether it's on a weekly level where we find ourselves setting out to do all of the training sessions and only end up doing one or none, or it might even be at that level of mid-workout where we're just not feeling it and our enthusiasm wanes and we decide we're going to stop. What else is going on? Look outside. What else is going on that means that we just don't want to face the discomfort from moving from a place of relative safety and comfort, by which I mean stillness, of not moving, to that place of movement and physically pushing ourselves? I don't know. Only you can answer that. Will you feel better or worse for training, for continuing to do your hour that you've set yourself? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Only you know these things. And only you know these things, and you'll know these things much better the more time in the game you have. It's a calibration thing. So session 3 of, if you've never trained before, session 3 of training, of devoting time to exercise, session 3, you'll have no idea what high energy feels like in comparison to low energy. You'll have 3 sessions to go on. Session 306, you've been through a lot more. You've seen a lot more. You've seen the highs, you've seen lows, you've seen everything in between. So you know loads more detail about yourself and about how you react and about how all those life changes that impacts how you feel about training. So you're more able to make a decision about how to proceed on those times when you're feeling this resistance. But just take this knowledge. This is really important. Your brain wants to protect you at all times, and that's why you feel resistance to discomfort. Then it's up to you to decide, do I actually need protecting by stopping? Or is this a false alarm? Brains don't always know this. You are here because you want to make exercise, training, a regular part of your life. That's why you're here. So we need to make room enough in our life for this, what is carefully dosed level of discomfort. That's what the program is. It's a dosed level of discomfort designed to make you fitter and stronger. So we need to make room enough for the anti-discomfort that we need to cope with it, by which I mean rest, which comes in all forms. Then the discomfort doesn't feel so bad. Our tolerance to it will be higher because we don't have too much of it. So, in summary, make sure your goal is always just to show up and do something, whatever version of it you need. And then you've always done 100% of what you set out to do, so you don't need to stop halfway through because you're feeling frustrated that you've not met your own expectations. And remember that it's meant to be uncomfortable. Sometimes our brain will make the decision for us that we can't handle any more discomfort today, and then you can take charge of that situation when you've heard that message and you understand what that message is. Knowing that your brain is trying to protect you is empowering, and you get the final say. You get to step back and think, oh, this is a message for me. What do I do now? How do I cope with this? What changes do I need to make? You might need to adjust the level of discomfort in your life elsewhere to make room for this regular training discomfort. I don't know, think of it like a game. What discomfort can you reduce, or where can you add extra recovery if you can't reduce any discomfort? I mean, it's very easy enough for me to say, make sure you have less stress. And I have 3 children and like 15 jobs, so don't know why I'm saying that. In the short term, that I'm not feeling it today halfway through a workout, followed by that immediate, you felt this like powering down of your engine in response to those words that you tell yourself, you mostly decide that you're stopping. A little tactic, just switch to autopilot and go through some motions. It doesn't matter that you're miserable. You came here to move. Do some moving. It doesn't matter what it is, just finish your time moving. You will actually self-regulate, and you won't push yourself hard because you're feeling grumpy about it probably, but that's okay because your intention was only ever to show up in the first place, with the caveat to stop if you're in pain. That's all. I'll stop talking now. Talk to you too much.